So today we're gonna make pretzel bites and beer cheese. Let's go.
Start by adding some yeast, lukewarm water, and honey to a bowl and let that bloom for about 10 minutes. Next, you want to measure out your flour and salt. I have learned when it comes to baking to always weigh your flour. This is 540 grams of flour and 2 teaspoons of salt, which equals about 4.5 cups of flour. With your dough hook attached, you're going to add your flour and 4 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter. Let your dough hook go for about 5 minutes until the dough pulls away from the bowl and it kind of snatches back when you pull it up. Transfer it to a bowl that's been coated with some olive oil, cover with plastic wrap, and then place it into a warm place for about an hour to 2 hours until it doubles in size. If you don't have a warm place, put your oven on 150, turn it off, shut the door, and put your dough in there and let it proof. Grate up your cheese, which is sharp and Monterey Jack cheese, set it to a side, and then we're going to turn our fluffy jiggly dough out onto our pastry mat with a little bit of flour. I cannot make the pretzel shape, so we're going to do pretzel bites. I broke it all up into 8 balls and then rolled those out to thick snakes and then cut those up into bites. You want to bring a large pot full of water with some baking soda to a boil. While that comes together, start working on your cheese sauce, which is everything you see on the screen. Toast your seasonings in the butter, and then we're going to add our flour. Cook that for a minute. After your roux comes together, we're going to add in our mustard, our milk, and our beer, which is an IPA beer or a lager beer, whichever one you have, or you can omit the beer and put chicken stock, but then it wouldn't actually be beer cheese dip. Let this cook for about 4 to 5 minutes, add in your cheese, and if your cheese is too thick, then you can add in some milk and thin it until it becomes a nice dip. Once your water comes to a boil, drop your bites in there, let them cook for about 10 to 20 minutes, they will float, then transfer them to a baking sheet lined with parchment paper or a baking mat. Brush them with milk, add a coarse salt, then we're going to go at 450 for 15 to 20 minutes until they're nice and fluffy, cooked in the middle, and then do boil for the last 2 or 3 to create that golden brown crust. The full written recipe is up on my website, and I'll see you next time on Bailey's Kitchen.